Hey guys, this is Marissa. Hello, can you see me? Anyway, hi. So I have, as I have promised in my previous video, while I was doing the Kiwi Lane booth at the Pomona Scrapbook Expo, am a Kiwi Lane instructor. So I'd like to be able to show you something here that I have actually I have a card that I'd like to show you, and I can also show you how to play and create using some of our templates from Kiwi Lane. We're going to do a card this time, making it small and simple and showing you how to be able to use our templates. So we will work with one of our card kits. I took one of the make and take sheet from the card kit, Enjoy the Ride, and this is the 12 by 12 sheet. I'm really sorry. I'm so close right now, but this is what it looks like. And it's the front and back. And here is the back portion. It is so cool. I really love the way that they're able to print their card papers to make it easier for all of us to be able to create using the templates. So I've already cut down and actually folded the actual card base, which is this. So here it's the card base that I was able to cut down on the time that we need. And so this is the card base. It's right there. And then as you notice from the card, we were able to cut out this Let's Create, which is up on that side. Sorry, shaking. Over on that side. And then we have this side to go here. And I went ahead and cut it out, but I didn't cut the strip on top. I'll show you why later. And there's our Let's Create. And then you won't see the flowers here. These prints are actually at the back of the paper, which are here and here for this too. And I've already cut them out here and here. So now what we have left over would be this hello, which I will save for a later project, a card project for whatever is left from those. And then we have a recipe card here too that you can keep for later. Then you can use this in reference to it whenever you're stuck for an idea. So I normally put this in a one of my 4x6s, what do you call those, file card things. Anyway, so first things first, let me show you. The templates that I use to make this card are the Tiny Explore. It's the 6T. There are several templates that come with our template sets, so I will show you that on a later video. And then for this bigger flower, we use the Floral. Again, this is also a tiny template. Then for the borders, we have Sentiments. And again, these are my class borders. If you can see, it's like I said, I'm a demonstrator, or rather an instructor too. So that's why I have the class templates here. So this is the other one. It's also Sentiments. So when you put these two together, because they're both two or bordered two, they actually create opposite ends. You see that? Sorry, I'm not centered. They actually create opposite ends. So how do we play with these templates? Let me take this out so that you can see. There's a lot of ways that you can play with these templates. Okay, so this is what I created. But let's see what else we can do with this. So I'm going to open this up. just so, you know, for ease of laying the templates. I can do it this way, and I can do it this way. And then I can take this too and put one over there like a sun, and I can leave it like that, right? So it's like waves with a sun. Or I can play around with it again with a bigger one, and this time I can lay it down there, or I can put it up there and imagine this to be mountains with the sun rising. Or another thing we could do is turn them back upside down, the templates upside down. We could do it this way, and we can do it that way too. And then have these peeking up there, and you can put your sentiment here. So there's a lot of ways that you can play with this. So let's play with what I created here. So this is how we did it. We put the big template down. Then we put the smaller template inside. And you notice what I did was I kind of skewed it up because I want to show the curves up there. So then I snuck this in at the back, and I put this in the center. That makes sense? I hope so. So I'm just playing around with my template. So you can play a little bit more. But since I've already decided what I want to do, and we've already created, and I have already shown you how I do it. So now we can now start tracing on the pieces of, or the strips that we have cut. Now, one thing good about the templates is they're clear, they're see-through. You can see through them. So see what I'm doing here? I'm trying to center. Let's celebrate here. So when I'm happy where it is, I start tracing. There you go. Traced. Okay, I'm good with that. Then now I'm going to trace this sentiments B or A onto this one. Okay, I know it's a little hard to see, but you can also trace it on the back where it's, if you're having a hard time seeing that, I actually can see it, but if you are having a hard time seeing it, you can just trace it on the back this way. And then there you go. Okay. Now the flowers are a little tricky because you don't need the whole flower, although you can cut through this whole flower, which some of you may want to do that. I kind of like just look at my card and how, or the template that I created earlier, the layout that I created earlier. And I don't really need the whole flower, and I don't really want to cut the whole flower. So what I do is skew it a bit. I skew it a bit because I don't want to cut the whole thing out. And notice I didn't trace this. I don't need to. Okay, that's one. And then my little flowers. Same thing. I don't need to trace the whole thing. So I just do it. I just did was just do it this way. Trace. When you cut, make sure you move the paper and not the scissors. What does that mean? So let's just say you're cutting the flower, and this is how I cut my flowers. It's easier. I just go ahead and cut the whole thing. See me moving my paper and then not my scissors. So that's another thing that I do is I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I just cut around it, and then after that, that's when I snip the corners. Hey guys, I'm back. So I've already cut them up, And you remember those pencil marks that we have done on this? Well, I went ahead and started inking them. And this is what I use. Kiwi Lane sells distress inks to edge, but this is what I like to use because it's small and it's got the corners. It can reach on the edges of our flowers. And so this is what I use, is the color box, fluid chalk, ink pad, chestnut brown. So those who are asking, that's what I use. So anyway, let me just show you. I was finishing up on this little flower and I realized, oh wait, let me show them how to get into the nooks and crevices and corners of these flowers. So basically I just went around it like I did with cutting. And then what I did was raise this petal up, ink, raise this petal up, ink, raise this petal up, ink. So when you're racing, make sure it doesn't crease because you don't want the crease there. So now it's time to, did you see what I did? Lower, push this down and then swipe. Push this down, start at the corner, swipe. So there's no need to erase your pencil mark because the ink basically covers it. See that? Ta-da! Done. Okay, so you're asking me, why did I not cut the whole flower? Why did I cut it this way? It's kind of funky. If you look at the template that we did, or the layout that we did earlier, we didn't need the whole flower. So why cut the whole thing? I love scrapbooking and card making and cutting, but I'm lazy too. So there. There's ways to do it to where, you know, you can go ahead and make it easier on you. So there you go. Now it's time to tack this down. Okay, you remember how we did it earlier, right? So we put this down. Let's celebrate. Remember the 2B, this one, the 2B, right? You remember that? And then we put this on the bottom with some things on that, a little bit up, right? It's not all the way to the bottom. So that's what we're going to do here. So we just take this, put the adhesive on. I need to show you. And what I normally do is don't put the adhesive on all the way through. I just dotted some on the top. So, okay. So that's where it is, towards the middle, sort of. And I kind of, remember I did it this way earlier. Doesn't really matter, whatever you want to do with the with your layout. I'm sorry to keep I have a contraption here for my iPad. Now, yes, I'm doing it on my iPad. And I have a contraption here and I keep hitting it as I lay this down. So my apologies. Okay, so notice I didn't really tack the top up because remember, we have to put the flowers and stick them on. So on this, on Let's Celebrate, same thing. But this time I'm going to tack this down really well because, you know, I don't need anything to go on top of it. So I hope you're seeing this. Okay, now to tack on the big flower. So put the adhesive on. Okay, see what I did? I kind of popped it up a bit. And then tack it on. Don't lay it down yet because you know you have to put this one. And we're almost there. Almost to the finish line. And look. Again, I want to skew this a bit. There you go. Tack it all down. You know, these are handmade, so they're not always going to be the same. But now I have 2 Let's Celebrate cards for graduation, for birthdays, for any kind of celebration. There you go. Here we have our cards. Now I have 2.